Hello YouTubers. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my new Howard Miller grandfather clock. So without further ado, let's just get straight into taking a look at my new Howard Miller grandfather clock. I actually, guys, already showed you my new Howard Miller grandfather clock. I made a video though, but I actually got a request like after maybe a few hours, maybe like 1 to 2 hours. And then I got a comment that they really said this is a very beautiful clock, which was very nice of them. But I don't know who sent the request. And they also asked me if I could do a winding video on this clock, and I will do a winding video on this clock. This is a 7-day movement, which means I have to wind it every 7 days, which means 7 days without winding. Again, here's the clock. There's the sculpturing on the pendulum. There's more sculpturing, by the way, also on the weights. I'm going to get to that in just a second. Let me just show you the pendulum. There's the sculpturing on the weights right here. There's one on each weight. One sculpture on each weight. It's a cable-driven clock, which means you wind it with a crank. There's the face. So yeah, what I'm gonna do, once I wind the clock in the future, I'm gonna do this probably maybe Sunday, because I wound this clock this Sunday. Well, I'm not gonna wind it this Sunday though. Next week, next Sunday. I think it'll be next Sunday, but I'm not sure because I've never seen this clock get wound down before, so I'm not sure. It's not the exact answer. There's just a chance I might wind it next Sunday in the future, but I'm not sure. You may notice it's a little difficult to see because the room is actually kind of dark. Because when I did the other video, actually, it was done in the daytime. There's the face of the clock. I also have the crank, by the way, but I always keep it on top of the clock so no one can touch it. Let me show you guys the sides. Let's show you guys now the other side. I also never shown you guys what this clock looks like at night before. I've never shown you what it looks like at nighttime before. What this let me say that more. Let me say it in a little bit better. Hold on. I've never shown you guys actually what this grandfather clock looks like at night. Before. So that's why I'm also showing you right now what this clock looks like when it's nighttime. Because it's a little dark because it's nighttime right now. But there is light because there's like a lamp in this room so you can guys see the clock. But it's not as easy to see because the video, again, I think I might have said it already. I made the video, the previous video in the daytime. I also want to show you guys what the clock looks like with the light on. So again, there's a switch back here on the right. Here, let me see if I can turn on the light. Come on. There. And there, now you can see the movement. Now, one thing you may notice, is that you can see the light through the hole, the holes, the crank holes, and the melody and the strike switch and the moon dial. Maybe it would be a little easier, guys, if I actually turn off the. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's place the camera down here. Hold on. Here, maybe if let me just go ahead and dim the turn off the light. See. All right. Get the camera. All right. The room is now darkened. Here's what it looks like with the room darkened. You can see that the crank holes. You can see the light. In all three holes. You can see there's the melody switch. You can see the light. There's the strike switch. You can see the light. And there's the moon dial, and you can see there's light. And it's like, you can see it's glowing. Well, I don't know, it's not really glowing, but that's the best I can explain it, but I don't know how to say it though. You can also see that the mirror, there's light. And the light actually reaches all the way down to the floor of the clock. This clock again is made out of glass, and it has a mirror inside, like I said in the previous video right here. I also haven't said this, I didn't say this before in the previous video, but not all of the clock is made of mirror. Only maybe like, let me see. Let's look inside the movement. See where that line right there, where like the panel clip is? That's where the mirror on the wall stops in the grandfather clock. It stops like right. See where that clip is on the other side by those chime rods? See that screw? That's like where the mirror stops. And then we know this is let's do like this. This is the floor of the grandfather clock. The mirror starts all the way where the floor starts. Then it goes up like this. Like this. And then it stops right under these two panel clips for the left panel and the right panel. Right there. So that's probably about maybe 3/4 maybe? Like 3/4 of the clock's probably made out of glass. That's about 75%. And 1/4 of the clock is made out of wood on the wall. Yeah, it's most likely made out of wood, like where the mechanism is, like where the movement is, which is like up here. Yeah, it's made out of wood, most likely, like where the movement is, which is up here. So again, I'll try to do a video of all three chimes on this clock, but I first need to get the hammers adjusted by a professional, like a clocksmith, or maybe not a clock. I need to get the hammers adjusted by I need to get the hammers adjusted by a professional, because the hammers aren't hitting the right rods. Because let's go to the movement on the right side. See those two hammers right there? They're touching each other. The hammers aren't supposed to do that. They're not supposed to touch each other. Each hammer should not be touching anything except the rods. I don't know which hammers need to be adjusted and which are okay. I don't know if it's the chime rods or it's the hammers that need to be adjusted, because I don't really know a lot about that stuff. At least the clock is accurate, because this clock has been going now for 5 days. Because I got the clock Friday. And if you guys are wondering how I got this clock, they actually got it, and they got it in a truck, and then they, what they did is they moved it. There was I think 2 or 3 professionals, and then they moved the clock here. And then we set the weights and the pendulum, and that's how we set the clock up. So again, I'll try to make a video of me winding the clock, but I need to first see what day of the week this clock will be wound down, because I've never seen the clock get wound down before, so I'm not sure if it's going to be... You can see the tone doesn't sound right, but the hour strike is okay though, because the hammers hit the rods correctly. Let me show you. Watch when the hammers hit the rods for the strike. You can see the strike hammers are okay. They do not need to be adjusted. They are okay. Yeah, the chime hammers were always like that since I got the clock last Friday. Yeah, I wouldn't really adjust the hammers myself because I'm not an expert in clocks of how to adjust the adjust the hammers, because if I do that myself, I might end up breaking the clock. And plus, I just got this clock. It's almost a week old, and I hope this clock can last for a long extended period of time. And I have to get the clock oiled probably maybe every 2 years. But again, I have another Howard Miller grandfather clock, but I don't think that clock haven't been oiled for probably like 15 years, and hasn't been oiled. By the way, that my other Howard Miller other Howard Miller grandfather clock, the strike hammer, one of the strike hammers is actually gone, but there's only 3 strike hammers remaining. But the thing is, now since there's 3 strike hammers in my other grandfather clock, the thing is, it still hits the rods, but it doesn't hit the rods though because the left weight is missing, is why it's not striking. You always need the weights in order for that to work. If you guys know, I also been curious if the bulb actually can get hot, because I think it can, because I've never had a clock like that. Let me just dim the light so you guys see there's the bulb. Yeah, it's much easier YouTubers to see the bulb when the room is darkened, not like when the room is bright. And I'm also been wondering, like, where can you buy these bulbs for the clock? And I also was thinking, what kind of... One sec. I've also been wondering, what kind of bulb, is this? Because, it's not like any normal kind of bulb. It's only for clocks. Grandfather clocks. I don't know how long these bulbs last, because I said this multiple times now, I've never got a grandfather clock like this with a light inside it. Yeah, I don't really use the light often, so I don't want to burn the bulb out or overheat the inside of the clock. Otherwise, that would not be good. Well, I still need to figure out how to get the hammers adjusted, and I need to also figure out which hammers need to be adjusted and which are okay. Because I think I don't know how many of the hammers didn't hit the right rod and which are okay. You notice when I darken the room, the light also shines all the way to over here to the wall. It looks like the light is also very strong, but the light can't shine that far though. That's because the clock is like very close to a wall. There's also I know there is also videos online how to do chime hammer adjustment, but um that might not be easy enough to get the hammers adjusted. You can't do it by just watching the video and adjusting the hammers at the same time, step by step, like following the video step by step. You'll need like a professional, like someone that is very good in that kind of stuff, like a clocksmith or something, I believe. Um, yeah. Um, I asked my uncle if he could do it, but he said he cannot. Um, I asked my uncle. No, I asked my uncle if he could actually, like use a video, and he said no. You cannot do that. He said he couldn't. He can't do that with me because you need a. Again, you need a professional to adjust the hammers. He also said that they'll have to take the clock, I think, all the way back to the clock shop, to adjust the hammers. But I wonder if any professional could come here just to adjust the hammers, but without taking the clock. I also have to make sure none of the wood is chipped because I don't want to chip the wood, and I don't want it like damaged anywhere. And when I wind the clock, I don't want to start the pendulum too hard, otherwise it'll crack the glass and that'll make it in worse condition. It'll make it worse. This clock is also very clean inside. I also didn't say that, by the way, in my previous video. It was also very clean inside. Yeah, the other clock I have, actually, this part, the floor part of the clock, is actually broken. I don't know if that can be fixed, but I'm not sure, but I don't know how damaged it is, though, because I haven't been there in a while. It's in my uncle's house. I haven't been there probably, like, almost a month, but I'm not sure how the floor got damaged, because it's been a while since the floor got damaged, but I don't know how the floor got damaged. I think maybe what might have caused it is that one of the weights might have fell, and then it hit the wooden floor, and then it loosened the wooden floor, and then it came out of the bottom of the clock. I think that might be how the wooden floor might have broke on my other grandfather clock, but I'm not sure. That's probably there's just a chance that I might have broken it that way. And I was not supposed to actually what I did is again, I don't know if I said this earlier though, but how the left weight broke is I used my hand to push the bottom of the left weight, then the weight came off I think that's the cable. I'm not sure though. I think it came off the cable, like this part where the hook is, and then it fell. And I think that was probably how the weight broke. And I didn't expect that to happen. I don't know how on the other grandfather clock how the fourth hammer broke off, but I don't know how I made the fourth hammer broke off. It's that hammer right there. The very last one on the right. That's the one that is missing, but it still strikes, but only with 3 rods. I don't know if the clock can still run like that. My other grandfather clock, but with only 3 rods, 3 striking rods, like 3 hammers. If you guys know, you can let me know in the comment section below. And again, the oiling, I think, is every 2 years, or I think it's also maybe depends on how much you use the clock. Because when I use this clock, I'm gonna wind it every week. Again, the weights will be due for winding on Sunday. Let's lock it up. I want to show you guys what it looks like with the door shut. Let's turn off the light. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, rate, like, and dislike. Comment below, be no one fan. And you always know it. Peace out. But any last words for me to say? No. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on Friday.